All right, now wasn't that amazing? Give them a round of applause. The wonderful duet. Now that's what I'm talking about when I said harmony. All right, so bring harmony into the future of this country with what you do. Keep that as your focus. You'll never go wrong. And now we move on to another lightning talk. And we have a wonderful guest speaker with us here today for this lightning talk segment. I'd like to make an introduction of him. Rifki Razick. He is the Vice President, Next Generation Architecture. And this is going to be an interesting topic for all of you. Do you want to know what it is? Come on. You just had something to eat now. Come on. Do you want to know what it is? Yes. Yes. This side is too silent. Come on. I have friends on this side as well. Do you want to know what it is? That's better. Okay. The Agile developer and the talking rubber duck. All right, if that doesn't bring your curiosity to the peak, let's see what will happen when we listen to Mr. Rifki Razick. Give him a round of applause, please.
All right. Is it good morning or good afternoon? I think we just passed noon. So I think I have the luckiest slot of the day today to follow up that wonderful act just before lunch. So no pressure. But the Agile developer and the talking rubber duck. So just to get a sense of the room, how many of you have actually written code, developed software? Okay, probably around 50%. I was talking to some people outside, and I was a bit concerned that they didn't know about the rubber duck, being software engineers. But let's see what the rubber duck is all about. So, have you all ever been stuck trying to fix a bug or trying to figure out what a piece of code means? You're trying the whole day, like you can't figure that out, but you go and talk to your friend or just try explaining that problem to someone. The process of explaining it to someone makes you understand that code and figure out that problem. And that person might not know anything. So this whole rubber duck concept was introduced by, I think it was Andy Hunt in the book, The Pragmatic Programmer, right? So instead of going and asking your friend, you have basically a dead rubber duck on your desk, on your laptop, and you explain the problem. I think one of the previous sessions, it was brought up, right? It's very important to articulate, be able to read, write, communicate. And the ability to communicate the problem clearly to the rubber duck solved that problem. The rubber duck didn't talk back, but purely just explaining it to the rubber duck was able to help you in your coding. So that's basically the history of rubber duck, and I hope you guys can go and check out Wikipedia and see what some examples and the background of it. Okay, so we have this concept of the rubber duck, but what has happened now? Right? The rubber duck has become intelligent, smart. How has that happened? We are seeing a whole load of coding assistants, really, really powerful coding assistants come up now, and we are currently using them at our IFS as well. We see huge amount of potential. This is going to be the future of software development, right? Tools like Cursor, Client, Copilots, and then there are fully autonomous coding platforms like Devin and some other platforms, Lovable, right? Now, again, English has become the new programming language. If you can articulate your design, your problem in English, you can get most of your work done through the coding assistance. So now you've got this intelligent rubber duck that you can talk, but get work done as well, right? Now, our developers, they're going to be super productive, right? All of our developers should embrace these AI coding tools. I think the whole aspect about these tools taking software engineers' jobs away is misplaced. If our software engineers can really leverage these tools, I think it's really exciting times ahead for them. Because when you start using these tools, you still need to have some level of design knowledge in your head. So sometimes you feel like, yeah, the coding assistant is doing everything for you, but subconsciously there is some information that you're providing it that's building upon all of your experience of developing software throughout the years. So still, it's very important that all of us as software developers embrace these AI coding tools, try them out, because this is going to be the next big thing in software development. And I think the next phase of this would be multiple agents working in parallel, right? So you might have teams of agents working in parallel and developing software, but the key thing here is a supervisor or a developer, a human person, needs to provide that input, that prompt to the coding assistant to get the required result. So what does this do to team velocity and productivity? How will this affect estimations, right? Your estimations, perhaps now something that takes 20 story points might take much less today with these coding assistants, because you can get work done really fast, and your team overall will have really good productivity. Now, this is my biggest concern right now. What about collaboration? You will have another pair programmer with you on your desk in your laptop. You can ask questions. So previously, before the sort of the dumb rubber duck, before that you would go and ask your friend or talk to a friend and ask questions, right? But now you have a talking rubber duck, an AI assistant that you would ask questions and give you feedback. So what happens to this human interaction, human connection within teams, and how does that dynamic change with all these AI coding assistants coming into play? So if you guys remember pre-2020, this is what Agile teams look like, right? We had a lot of collaboration, people talking to each other, people coming up with ideas. I think this was really enjoyable for me as a software developer, working with people, interacting with them, and coming up and solving problems was perhaps the biggest motivation for me as a software developer, right? Instead of doing things on my own. So that human interaction that we had, especially pre-2020, was something that I kind of missed later on. Then this happened. The new normal. Teams worked remotely. There was collaboration. I would say productivity went up, but I think creativity might have gone down. This is my guess right now. People didn't come up with good ideas because people didn't meet face-to-face to bounce ideas off each other. They couldn't get to a whiteboard, draw architecture diagrams and stuff like that. So I kind of felt like people were very good at doing the tasks that they were given, right, and checking the check boxes. But we didn't come up with really innovative stuff during this time. So how will AI tools affect team collaboration? Again, like I said, like if you have a partner already on your desk in your laptop, will you want to go and talk to your team members? Will you want to go over and to a whiteboard and do a design together? I think we have to leverage AI tools to the fullest, right? That has been the whole theme of this conference, right? It's really important that we do that. And that does not mean that we should not have people interacting, bouncing ideas, doing creative things together, because, like I said earlier, I think people getting together and interacting and coming up with ideas, that's where the magic really happens. Right now, we can abstract that and just come up with the ideas only. We don't have to do maybe the mundane hard work. We can get the AI coding assistant to do that. But I think we must ensure that this creative spark of human interaction is preserved in the software development community, right? All of us need to be very mindful as part of their whole agile process, right? That social interactions between teams should not be let go just because we have AI tools. And that brings us to my favorite part of Agile, maybe my only favorite part of Agile, the manifesto itself, because this is where I go to sort of take out all the distractions about Agile, because you find a lot of things around Agile. You go to the Agile manifesto, and if you can follow these 4 values, I think you're doing things correctly. All the other things that has been built on top of it, you could see, you can argue that it's good or bad. I don't want to be too controversial on that, but this is the document that I think we should follow. And when they came up with this, the most important value of this manifesto was individuals and interactions over processes and tools. Now that goes back to what I said earlier. No matter what tools, AI tools we do, and we should use them, we should continue to improve on them, we have to make sure that individuals and interactions happen, those social interactions happen, because that's where real software craftsmanship is done, and beautiful software is created. Those could be designs, right? Those could be specs. It doesn't have to be code itself, but those interactions are super important. So to the Agile community, I think, yes, we have to adapt all these AI tools, but let's keep our teams talking to each other. Let's not have people working in corners of the office, just using AI tools and working in isolation. I think it's all of our responsibility to make sure that we stand true to the first core value of the Agile Manifesto. Thank you.
Let's give him another round of applause for sharing his insights. Thank you very much, Rifki. And I'd like to invite Kumudu Bandarage from our organizing team to hand over a token of appreciation to Rifki. So it's hard.